Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, July 11, 2023, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tomorrow night, around 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to cover the truth, and we're going to cover the lie that is being believed as the truth. The quality of our relationships is the best guide we have to knowing ourselves. The way we interact, react, respond to others allows us to understand where we are in our soul's path and evolution. The way we behave with others, such as a mirror, acts as a mirror for our own consciousness, reveals the details of the role we believe we are playing in this world and lets us clearly see our reflection in the mirror. The more aware we are of the mirror that each relationship has, the easier it becomes to change our response after the judgment or reflection we perceive to be there, and then take a more enlightened approach to the image. Ultimately, the relationship mirror is there to create deep insights into ourselves so we can adjust to create a healthier attitude towards life and manifest a better world for our future. When we see in our relationship mirror, each day reveals what we see. Each day reveals everything you need to know about yourself, and what you like in others is what you believe you are lacking in yourself. What you don't like in others is what you are rejecting and denial of inside yourself. It truly is this simple. The more intimate you can become with everyone in your mirror, the more the universe will reveal to you where it is you are blocked on your journey and how spiritually evolved you actually are. Though other people, through other people, we can see every detail of ourselves. We can see which priorities we deem to be sacred, understand the level of attachment and aloofness we have in our love life, see the level of fear and denial that we are dealing with, and discover all the hidden issues we have buried deeper inside. Now understand, this goes both ways. You mirror certain aspects. You see certain aspects that teach you not to be those things. That's what you come across certain people, and it's telling you how not to be, and then other people that's telling you how to be about yourself. It's all about you to understanding you. This whole path is each of us understanding ourselves, being aware of ourselves. Through other people, we can see every detail of ourselves. Now, we can see details of what we would not care to be and what we would care to be. So there's yin and yang. We can see which priorities we deem to be sacred, understand the level of attachment and aloofness we have in our love life, see the level of fear and denial that we are dealing with, and discover all the hidden issues we have buried deeper inside. Relationships help us to see the real source of our pain, loneliness, frustration, and of course, get a glimpse into the deep eternal love that thrives at the core of our being. It is only through diving into this divine, multidimensional, multisensual mirror that the divine supreme consciousness inside our soul can be discovered. Once this pure consciousness is found and brought up through the murky waters into every relationship we have, it paves a path for permanent and total liberation from all forms of suffering that have encaged us in our lives. Residing in the mind is hell, prison. Resting in the heart in love is heaven, freedom. We are more free than any thought conceived of what defines freedom. Who we are is far more vast than anything the mind thinks we are. Angela Walker. Real poverty in this life does not come from a lack of financial abundance, energy, or creativity. Poverty stems from the avoidance and neglect of looking at who you are in this relationship mirror. Whenever you get into the habit of blaming anything outside ourselves, right, for our unhappiness, we cannot really know why we are unhappy. When we are not using the relationship reflection to see into the truth of who we are being, we cannot develop our most enlightened character that we can imagine becoming on life's stage. The richest person in this world is the one who is the most free. The richest person in this world is the one who is the most free. This level of freedom in life comes not from a freedom that can be taken away from, yet from simply embracing and accepting wholeheartedly what is seen in the relationship mirror. The wise person has a respect for the feedback found in the reflection and a statement of gratitude for it, no matter how depressing the image may seem to be. There is an equanimity in the mind with where things are at because they can see the bigger picture of life's journey. This truly enriched, enlightened being has developed the habit of approaching others without judgment, fear, or manipulation. They simply honor each person as a teacher who is sent to guide the soul back to Source in the most unique and unsuspecting ways. One of the most interesting insights that you may discover in your life may be around about how the world actually is and how it sometimes appears to be. The world is this highly intelligent and perfect organized field of conscious energy, which can appear to be dark, messy, harsh, unjust, and abusive. It has both polarities at all times. And when this is realized, the mind is not so easily tempted to believe there is only one side. When this enlightening thought hits you, it can become crystal clear how this universe is always in a karmically divine order and is constantly in balance within itself. It is never off balance, ever. It only seems to be lacking balance and order when we have a narrowed mind and one-sided perspective. The real question is not whether life exists after death. The real question is whether you are alive before death. Okay. When we remove the blind, we can revel in the glory of this sweet, unsolvable mystery that is meant to keep us living freely on the edge of the unknown. By welcoming this super mystery of the relationship mirror every day, we can see all three sides of the coin and truly be free. We can know who we spiritually are and start dancing beneath the stars without a care in the world. We can stop to relax and bathe in the sun's warm sunshine, enjoy the fluttering of a butterfly passing by, and feel the cool breeze glide across our face as we interact with our community from a place of understanding, lightness, awareness, and compassion. In our most enlightened space, we are constantly choosing to feel, accept, love, and appreciate ourselves exactly the way we are. This self-loving energy is then reflected outwards onto everyone else in the world, giving them the feeling of self-acceptance exactly as they are. When we are abiding in this deep state of acceptance, we can find every experience to be exquisitely enlightening. We greet each experience with an open state of outer curiosity and inner self-inquiry. We constantly balance upon the edge of what we know and don't know to be true. It is this inquisitive state of mind that pushes us to reach into the spiritual depths of the heart and discover the most magnificent home that is within our innermost being. By simply abiding in a state of wonder, we can know how easy it is to evolve in consciousness and every day discover a joyous heart in our chest, overflowing with gratitude and love. This is the only way we can truly transcend all the suffering created in the mind. During your day, whenever you can, stop to take a good long look inside yourself. Notice if either you have a heart filled with peace or a mind caught in some whirlwind of thinking. It's either one or the other. Never do they both exist together. It's like water and oil. They remain distinct and separate, yet can appear to be mixed. When you're looking inside, you don't like what you find. Remember that you are the highest authority of your life. You are the great divine master of your inner world. You have the power to make it into a heaven or a hell. It is all depending on one little thing. How connected are you with your heart? By forming a practice of creating a cozy, sweet nest, which you can feel is home sweet home within your heart, your journey through this life will never feel cold, dark, lonely, or fearful. Instead, you will always have light and warmth wherever you are. A great quote from the Course in Miracles, which I've read many times. And this is a miracle. The moment that you realize that there is no way to make a home, then this whole existence is home. Then wherever you are at home. Relationships are designed not to turn out the way we think they should, because they are meant to make you grow in the most miraculous ways. The enlightened path of relationship is the path to total freedom, because it throws us into the greatest spiritual journey of our lives. Relationships are the advanced life mastery course of this life. They are the most ultimate challenge we can take. When we open up to explore a deep, intimate relationship with someone, we have to look at ourselves in the spiritual mirror. The deeper we go, the more we will learn, even if the relationship fizzles out in a week, falls through the cracks in a few months, or ends in devastating divorce after years. We are always given the gift of freedom in the end. The feeling of total liberation hits us like a gentle feather or a brick, depending on if we looked into the mirror and discovered this divine, super spiritual truth of who we really are along the way. Perhaps the greatest tip I've found in creating a healthy, loving relationship is first knowing exactly what will ruin it. It's important to know that the very moment you stop enjoying your relationship, no matter what relationship, no matter with yourself or whoever, you are starting to destroy it. It's important to know that the very moment you stop enjoying your relationship, you are starting to destroy it. You'll also kill any relationship by imposing your ideas about how the other should and should not be. If you don't tell the whole truth, hide your feelings, and don't be impeccable with your word, you'll squeeze the life out of it. If you hide, play emotionally small, think small thoughts, and don't ever take a risk to be real, they cannot respect you and will one day walk away. If you can never apologize for anything, they will always be at a distance for you. The secret is doing the opposite of each of these things. We all deserve some room to make mistakes in this life, since there are no mistakes. All right? It's just experience. And yet, if you are spending years feeling stuck in your relationship, you're not taking the time to look at the direction or reflection in the mirror that's right in front of you. The day on which we come to know the Supreme Consciousness within us, then the outside world will also appear to us like the expanse of the Supreme Consciousness. The whole will be a mirror to us when we become a mirror within. Okay. Now, one of the greatest secrets to mastering relationships of them all could very well be, this is about knowing how to distinguish and interact with the two types of people in life. There are those who feed you, and those who feed off of you. Remember that. There are those who feed you, and then there are those who feed off of you. People will either try to inspire you and lift you up, or devour your energy and pull you down. Many people out there aren't yet conscious about how they are relating to you, nor the impact they have upon you. They live too close to their mind and cannot see the reflection in the mirror. So this is about knowing how to distinguish and interact with the two types of people in this life. There are those who feed you, and then there are those who feed off of you. People will either try to inspire you and lift you up, or devour your energy and pull you down. Many people out there aren't yet conscious about how they are relating to you, nor the impact they have upon you. They live too close to their mind and cannot see the reflection in the mirror. The responsibility then is yours. If you are falling prey to someone who pulls you down each day, notice how do you respond when there's someone is pulling your energy down? Why do you respond the way you do? Once you are able to respond with respect for yourself and never let anyone pull you down into the emotional dumpster with them, you have mastered one of the greatest lessons in this life. How many times you've been around people, right? Not like you're looking for them, right? And you get around them and they have a tendency to pull you down. They're not upbeat. They're depressing. They make statements that kind of suck your energy out of you. And basically, you've got to come to the realization, once you're able to respond with respect for yourself and never let anyone pull you down in the emotional dumpster with them, you have mastered one of the greatest lessons in this life. That's crucial for all of us. In the end, we are each the ultimate authorities of what we manifest in our life. We are each responsible for enjoying the people we bring into our homes and responsible for the way we allow them to treat us. We are responsible if others can enjoy us, or feel forced to run away from us. We are the real authority. The greatest relationship is with ourselves. The other is there so our soul is pushed deeper, and we stop pointing the finger at the outer world for our lack of love or power. The connection with our own soul is where the gold is at. And this happens simply by turning our attention towards no other direction than the central heart of our being, The heart is the answer to all our problems in this life. We did not come to this planet Earth to micromanage our lives, achieve our goals, reach to the top, or fix our broken self-esteem. Our mission here is much simpler and magna glorious than this. We are here to abide in the heart, transcend the ego, find our real spiritual path, and ascend into each day with pure, deep, eternal love from our soul. We were born to discover that who we truly are is beyond the form and the formless. We are here to remember that we are timeless spiritual beings who do not die. We came here to embody this wonderful sacred knowing and develop an everyday understanding that eternity is our natural state of being. This is why we're here. And understanding this in relationship brings out the gateway to freedom. Take one step that will catapult your life into an extremely positive and enlightening direction. And understand that you can create mantras or statements that will move you into that. You want to attract more abundant situations and positive circumstances to you. It is much easier to attract the life you desire when operating at a higher vibration. Everything you desire in love, relationships, money, career, sex, health, and energy can and will be yours. So you follow you. You go in, you clean the cupboards, you forgive, you surrender, and so everything's clean, okay? And then you start reprogramming yourself in the now. You move everything, it's gone, and you'll feel lighter. If you still feel heavy, then you haven't surrendered everything. If you still feel full, you haven't surrendered everything. You go into and I'm sure we've all experienced this in this lifetime, is that you go into a relationship, right? And then little by little, either or starts to become irritating. And at first you're just, you don't pay attention to it. But over and over and over again. And then eventually the ego mind kicks in and you start responding to it. And then you say to yourself, how did I attract this? Because you attracted it. And you got to figure out how you attract it. How did I attract it? What was there? Why did I step into this direction? And you'd be surprised what comes out, what you discover. Have you ever noticed that people with high harmonics, you can really tell the difference? You have people with high harmonics and you have people with low harmonics. And the people in low harmonics do not like being around people in high harmonics. They don't. They just despise it. Because they take on the pessimist, right? The looky-looey, the doubter, that's always pulling things down. Now, they don't know that. They really don't. They don't know that. But they continually pull things down. So then they surround themselves with people that are what? Like them. You imagine, have you ever walked into a group of people, right? and you sit down, and conversation starts. And your harmonics are up, and you've been working on that, and you feel good about it. And you start listening to these people, and you start feeling heavy. And you start feeling like you can't breathe. Because all of them are talking about every negative thing that you don't care to even be around. So, and that harmonics is just nasty. So you excuse yourself and you leave. Really, truly. If you're, and then, now, say you're with somebody, you're dating, whatever, and you come into this headbutting thing all the time. And you just finally just say, I don't care to engage myself in such low harmonics, low frequency, because it affects you. You walk away. Not disrespectfully. You just walk away. So there are certain things that we trigger, and there are certain things we trigger in ourselves, and there are certain things we trigger in others. But see, you could meet a bunch of people, right, who all had different practices and different habits and everything. But you'd learn from them in order for you to draw people that are like-minded like you, and they have taught you how not to draw them. I guarantee you, when you're down, right, you will attract other people that are down. And it feels good. Don't you like, when you're down, you like to find people who are also down? So you can, kind of cry in your own misery with each other and talk about how bad it is. Or you say to yourself, no, I've been there. I know how that works. And it's really dang. I prefer to focus on positive frequency with myself first, and then with others. With myself first, and then with others. And then this shifts things. Now you're focused because you want, this is what you want. You send this out to the universe. You're in the now, you're focused on your breath. You're not in yesterday or tomorrow, and the ego mind is not there. And all of that chatter, 60,000 plus thoughts, is not there. You are out of the mind and out of the ego. So you put it out there that you only, now you got to be careful, because if you say you only want to draw people who are high harmonics, high vibrational frequency, will you get bored? Will you get bored? Now, have you ever noticed throughout this life, you might have noticed growing up, that when you're interested in somebody, male, female, and you're just genuine, right? Caring, loving, understanding. But they get bored with that, and they want challenge. And you hear the saying, good guys finish last. Good girls finish last. However you want to put it. And that old wives' tale is because you're watching other people treat other people, which is basically themselves, poorly. That's what you're witnessing. And if someone likes to be treated poorly, then their attitude of themselves is poorly. See? Like attracts like. Now, if you take someone who likes to be poorly, they're the ones that will date good guys or good girls get bored and leave. Because they will say you're too nice, you're too this, you're too that. And they don't like that because they don't see that in themselves. So then they see others that are poorly. So they treat others poorly. And that's exciting. So we have all of these ins and outs created in the human psyche, which is this society on this planet. But we don't understand it. We don't understand it. We kind of go, what's up with this? So then you get to the point, if you do get to the point in this lifetime, you establish the fact that you really don't care what other people think or say or do about you. You don't care. So when you're in that position, and you've learned to not become attached to anything, that's when we suffer. If you're dating someone, married to someone, right? And you become attached to them, you will not leave them. No matter how bad you're treated, no matter how low their frequency is, you will not end it because you're so attached. And a lot of people don't understand that. Now, what would happen, just for giggles, if this civilization decided that with new society, new social structure, new earth, that marriage is obliterated, gone. No such thing as marriage. Been eliminated. You meet someone, you stay with them, you be with them, if you understand yourself. And you understand that being together, you can only be together for so long before it gets old and you become empty, so you have to separate to fill yourselves back up and then get back together. I mean, it's quite interesting. It's a whole new twist on the civilization. Because you're never locked into anything unless you want to be. See what I mean? There won't be a piece of paper and a corporate agreement, documentation. That's a prison. Doesn't it make sense that since we're all slaves and have been for so long, that anything that we do that they construct or put together is part of the prison? We don't clearly look at things to understand that. Now, to a lot of the people in the civilization would say, I don't know about that. Because that's being afraid that you're going to be hurt. The risk, right? Now, even in a documented marriage, corporate agreement between male and female, you still can get out of it, but it's painful. You suffer because it's ego-mind based. See, taking responsibility for ourselves in this life is imperative. So this is why all these regulations and laws and rules bury us, flood us, drown us, day to day. Because the overlords, the controllers of the planet, want us to be lost and not capable of making decisions for ourselves and not capable of being responsible for our own lives. So by constantly doing this year after year after year, generation after generation, the civilization atrophies, becomes inept, incapable of governing themselves. They need direction. They need to be told. They need to be told what to do. And that's why so many people stay in the box. They don't care to go out there. They want to stay in the box. So if they go out there, it's unknown, right? They aren't going out in the unknown. Some of the excuses are they're too old. They're not ready yet, which is, it's honest. They aren't ready to do that yet. And then there are those that, basically cut it down all the time and defame it and discredit it. Because they're too fearful to do that. When you come to understand and embrace the fact that you are responsible for your life, and then everybody else begins to learn that they are responsible for their lives, what do you think is going to happen? That they can govern themselves? They might get a thought that through ego mind that oh, you should probably do that. And then you come in and say, no, that's ego mind based. Plus it'll harm. Not interested in that. And it's reaffirming all the time. See, and a lot of people just don't find the time for it, but you've got to reaffirm day in and day out. Just do it for a weekend. Someone does for a weekend or a week and then, dismisses and forgets about it. You should build up a list of all the things that you do to help you within. All the things that you do to help you within. It's like, what do you do? You could answer someone very easily and say, I'm working on developing a very true, intimate relationship with myself, and until I get to that point of mastery, I will not be complete with anybody, relationships-wise. I must understand myself. I must understand who and what I exactly am in this body, and how everything plays its role. Because that's simple. Well, it seems simple, right? But all the habits that we've gained and picked up and carried with us for years, all the things that we didn't have, that they weren't hanging on us and we weren't dragging them, as we go through life, that happens. And you have all this stuff and you can't find space to put it anywhere. Because you've been putting stuff in the closet for years. There's always something in this galaxy, in all the surrounding galaxies, in all the universes. There's one common denominator. Everyone is a God within. And everyone is having challenges on discovering that they are the God within that physical form. The pure consciousness. The deep eternal love. That's who we are. And we're not the body. Now, do you believe that a civilization who has accomplished this, mastered it, is conflicting, is aggressive, disrespectful, bludgeoning? No. To all of it. Because they're not an ego mind. When you're not an ego mind, you're not interested in engaging in conflict and all the garbage that you've been watching. You're not, it's just not even close. Where you want to experience it. So we do this every day. We do it in the morning, we do it at night, and we work on it continuously. We don't overdo it. We don't overdo. We just do. A little bit at a time. And you'll see it, things around you go through metamorphosis. More like-minded people will want to talk with you. So you make a commitment to yourself. Nobody else. You say, from this day forward, I am going to practice being in the now. That doesn't mean you're going to stay in the now. I believe we all know that because of the fact that we get enticed and pulled out by the ego mind. And then when we start to recognize ourselves and who and what we are, then the harmonics open up. I believe that some of us on this planet are so steeped in the negativity aspect that we don't even know that we're that negative. Now, have you met people that we learn from? We always learn. That you meet people that seem really carefree, happy-go-lucky on the outside. And then the next thing you hear is that they committed suicide. You ever hear those stories? One of the most bubbly, happy, joyous person you could meet, and a few weeks later, they commit suicide. Because you see, there's a lot of masks that we wear, and we don't surrender to the God within us. So she ended up destroying the body, and the God that she is now out of it. Or, flip side, somebody that seems grumpy all the time, you know? They have a stern look on their face. This is outside, you know, on the surface of the body. They just don't seem happy at all. But believe it or not, inside, they're just absent. Trip the light fantastic. They're just joyous, happy, and blissful. You can never judge a book by its cover. Ever. And eventually, every single one of the population of this planet will discover that they are God within that body. And that they're co-creators of everything. Everything. I joined in the meditation. I turn to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Focus on the very center of your body and mind. Now imagine roots of light shooting deep into the center of the earth and spreading out in every possible direction. Rest in this calm-rooted energy, connecting with the entire earth for a few minutes or hours. From this grounded space, you will effortlessly manifest anything that your heart desires. The infinite power to manifest your dream is ready for you to create that brilliant thing you wanted right now. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night the following morning. And we'll return here Wednesday, July 12, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, and around 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what is going on around you.